Hey, 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 hey. Okay, somebody's here. Somebody's here. Oh my goodness. Y'all showed up early, huh? Or does it give some kind of forewarning on YouTube? Because I'm going straight through StreamYard. And I take it there's some seconds of a delay. Hey, Graham, Madam, how you doing? I am fine. I got my Super Bowl Dynasty shirt today. Got all the Dynasty. So 3 is a Dynasty? Okay. All right. Or is it the one from back in 69, 70 that makes it 4 that counts and makes it a dynasty? I don't know. Everybody's calling it dynasty, so far be it for me to say nay, because it looked like it's a dynasty. uh, oh my goodness. And to the effect of said dynasty, I guess I should go ahead and get all of my peace talk out of the way first, since everybody ain't a Chiefs fan. But you gotta look at it though, still. So okay. He said, nice. I love my Patriots Dynasty shirt. Oh yeah, everybody got a Dynasty shirt now. Wanted to have a Dynasty shirt. Now I can have a Dynasty shirt. We in the conversation. Now we just got to get deeper in the conversation. Tell you right now, we looking for that 3-peat, y'all. We looking for. I mean, is it a terrible thing to want to win 3 Super Bowls in a row? And wouldn't the Chiefs be the first to do it? Yeah. Oh, Kamoyo say congratulations. What? Yeah, that was February, but I just got the shirt today. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I gotta wear it on air at least one time before we officially say, all right, enough already. You are officially becoming annoying. So I don't want to do that. But y'all know I'm a rock a brim every now and then. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Casey boy. So if that offends you, covereth thine eyes. um, hey Miss Keita, how you doing? And I see Keita, but I do not see Gray. Okay, well I'll keep waiting. They lightning strikes in twice in the same place, always. Anyway, and if we talk about congratulations should be in order. Dang, did I get it? I didn't get it. Let me go grab it. See, gotta have my dramatic effect. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Dramatic effect. Where was I? All right. For that guy right there, because he's staying in Kansas City. Boy, is he ever staying in Kansas City. Dang, son. Okay, so we've been talking. That was the parade. Yes, the parade they shot up, but he said he wasn't going nowhere then. They was just waiting. I mean, seriously, do you think somebody who sat out the first, what was it, 5, 4, 5, something like that, a bunch. We needed him that night in Detroit. We sure needed him that night in Detroit. But yeah, his presence not being on the field was felt 100. But I would think after that, after he like showing them, hey, I mean business. This ain't for play. You know what I mean? If y'all don't get the funds right, you know, I might go over there to Los Angeles with Aaron Donald. And speaking of Aaron Donald, no offense to any Los Angeles Rams fans, but Aaron Donald is no longer the highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL. Chris Jones just signed a $158,750,000 contract over 5 years, with $95 million of that guaranteed. $60 million of it he got when he signed, and the other $35 million will trickle down in the first 3 years. Then on top of that, he's going to be getting paid an average of 13 to 14 million a season for the 24, 25, 26 season. Depending on performance, that can kick all the way up to 24 million a year on out to 27. But in 25, he's got an option like, oh, do I want to renegotiate, or am I happy with the contract as it is? Man, you know he's going to renegotiate some more because it's money, right? But ain't the brother worth it? Because you saw the difference with him on the field versus him not being on the field. Not just his physical presence, but his, you know, how he rallied his troops. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of guy you want on your defense. You know, turn, you know, make it a, you know, just stirring them up into that berserker rage to where they just, okay, I'm gonna be super proficient and get them at every position. So yeah. And I don't know when they're gonna ink out a deal, but all of y'all folks that was hoping to get L'Jarius Sneed, they not. I would be shocked. I would be 100% shocked if they was like, yeah, later for Sneed. She said, not at all. Look at Brady. How many times did his team win? 6. We got 4 now. We got to win 2 more to tie him and 3 more to eclipse him. That is some very presumptuous talk, isn't it? I don't. At some point, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying all in a row. You know what I mean? But at some point, you know. Say, wear your ish as long as you want, man. I'm just talking about on air. You know what I mean? I don't want to keep pulling up every week like bam in your face, bam in your face again. I will though when I get that two-tone. I'm getting a two-tone jersey, man. One side is all red and the other side is all white. Ooh, that joker. Ooh, gonna be clean as board of hell. Gonna be clean as board of hell next season when you step out in that mug and just be like, you know what I mean? Just bust a pose on them. Yeah, oh, where you get that jersey at? Can't tell you. Had to kill you. You know what I mean? It's hard to three-peat. You need everything to go right now and players to be healthy. For the most part, Groovy, we was. I know Nick Bolton was out. It was that we were feeling Nick Bolton on defense when he was out, especially. But then, Drew Tranquil stepped up, and Drew Tranquil, you see, he got a starting job out of it because he held it down so tight. And he was trying to get Mike Williams to come be a receiver for us. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about who you know. It's about who you know. You know what I mean? And Mike Williams ain't no slob, man. He just on a terrible team. At least last year they were. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do so well. I thought, what were they, like 4-12? Something like that. I always, even though they in our division, I always kind of hoped the Chargers will kind of get over that hump, you know what I mean, and represent, but it just never seemed to materialize for them. So I don't know. Or I could look at it like better y'all than us. But I ain't gonna be like that. About to say, in order to build a dynasty, you gotta keep the same cast for the month. Yeah, you gotta have a foundation to build on to. And Chiefs got one of the youngest teams in the league. So they definitely have enough young cats. If they stay hungry like that, absolutely. You say Donald been the second best DT for the last 2 years. People just have him one of reputation. Donald's still great, but Stone Cold been the CEO. I like that. That one in future. I like that. Respect. Yeah. Hit the likes, my tribe. More than anything else, comment, like, subscribe, and share. Comment and subscribe and share. I like comments. I like to talk. I like to have something to bounce myself off again, so I don't just look like I'm sitting in here talking to myself, which would be weird. And I want other people to know about it. I want more people to come and talk. I want more people to come and share their opinions, their thoughts, you know what I mean, in a respectful way. You know what I mean? Hopefully we pass all that, you know what I'm saying? People coming in here to clap at you ish, but other than that, but I ain't gonna keep beating y'all up about Chris Jones. That's just something me, myself, and I am celebrating. What and future? No, you did not miss the Ultimate Black Panther 2 talk because I did not start talking about it. And I hate to disappoint y'all tonight, but I am not going to be talking about Black Panther, Ultimate Black Panther 2. And not for the reasons y'all think. It didn't come in. You see what I'm saying? I would have loved to have an Ultimate Black Panther 2 conversation, but it didn't come in. So, you know how sometimes things happen and you don't get what you want, but on the way to what you want, you find something else that will work just as well as what you want. Look what I found. I don't already have this book, some of you are asking. No, I do not already have this book. But, bro, that's a score. I mean, the spine is still kind of, stiff, discoloration. It ain't too terribly. Well, here, I show you because y'all won't believe me. I'll pull it out, let y'all, you know what I'm saying? Here it is out the plastic. See what I'm saying? A little closer there. See what I'm saying? That's a pretty, you know what I mean? That's a pretty solid book. It's a pretty solid book. And for those of you that do not know or cannot tell from the cover itself, this is the first full appearance of Rhodey in Iron Man armor. And why was Rhodey in the Iron Man armor? Because at the time, Tony Stark was a stinking alcoholic. Which I wish they would have worked a little more into the MCU, and that would have made Tony Stark kind of a little more pitiable. It would have balanced out that snark / a-hole kind of vibe that my man Robert Downey Jr. was exuding. Yo Comic Store forgot to order your copy too. The owner's supposed to call you tomorrow. They told me to go back by the store tomorrow. I'm gonna come back by the store tomorrow and see what they get. Because they said theirs just didn't come in. See, I'm up in Alaska, so it's a lot of this. So you don't get a lot of titles in your LCS made for a lot of that. So I have to search and dig and, and unearth stuff. You know what I mean? Sometimes. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what they did have, though. Bam, 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 bam. So that was in my box. Hooray. Yay. Avengers 11. MacKay and Fiorelli. It is a transitional book. Okay. Let's just say there are mentions of the Ashen Combine, and the return of a villain we ain't seen in a minute, or at least I ain't seen in a minute. But yeah, there is. Also X-Men crossover. I guess the X-Men crossover with the Avengers in it, they getting ready to just say, okay, we done had enough of Orcus. We getting ready to go and put Avenger foot to Orcus butt. So looking forward to that. If you're keeping up with what's going on in X books, you'll probably be through the pieces that Avengers, because Carol Danvers is like, those are my friends, and I don't like to see them being treated the way they being treated. And Orcus is they wrong anyway, so let's go take them down. There you go. All righty. What are we talking about? Okay. Nice catch. Yeah, I thought it was a nice catch too. I really would like to have that Demon in a Bottle book, but the one with Stark on the cover looking like, I really like to have that one. There's Gray. Yep. Nice. Yeah, I thought it was nice too. Tony was perpetually sauced. Yeah, he was. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember like later on in the second Perez run on Avengers in 98, I want to say, he was giving pep talks to Carol Danvers, who was going through the same thing he went through. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You out here using your powers and you why would you go out drunk? Why would you go out drunk? Man. Okay. We talked about Avengers 11. Avengers 11, I'm going to do a review on this weekend. I have read it twice, but I want to read it one more time to get it. You know what I mean? So, I'm not racing to be the first person to break a story. You know what I mean? I learned that from our news media. Okay, just because you tell the story first, don't mean that's all the story there is to tell about that. You might have missed some things that I covered. And you probably hear this a lot, maybe on Theo's page. But, it isn't always good to be the first to jump on a story. I haven't gotten my Ultimate Black Panther yet, Gray. So, no, I'm not caught up on Ultimate Black Panther yet. But they told me come by tomorrow, and that they should have them in. So, mine should be in my box. So, what I'm saying, we should have that problem. Your fifth, maybe not last live today. Oh, okay. Got a question, but save it for the Q&A. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Speaking of stuff I want people to see. Speaking of stuff I want people to read. Guys, this is volume 2 of Malika, Warrior Queen. I do not know if y'all have been keeping up with this. It's by Roye Akupe, and I don't want to mess up the man's name. Sunkami Akinboye on the art chores. The boy can draw too. I don't want to keep throwing up pages like this, but yeah, that is Malika, Warrior Queen. Malika, Warrior Queen, she is the queen and commander of a 15th century West African empire, but she has been flung into the far future, 2025. And she's a great warrior, and she's got, your general fighting / energy discharge capabilities. Orisha connected, of course. And then there are these guys. They are called the Oloris, which is essentially kind of I don't know if y'all are familiar with Unique Studios. Unique Studios is they actually have an animated short of Malika, Warrior Queen, that you could go to on YouTube and watch. And long story short, she's a queen that in order to keep her kingdom together, she had to divide it in half. And one half she ran, and then the other half she left kind of to its own devices with another region, more or less. And then eventually she made it into this huge empire, only to be thrown into the future before. Well, I don't want to spoil too much. I don't want to tell you too much, but there is this guy who's also a king, and he's known as the Windmaker. Okay, for all intents and purposes, he's kind of like an Aang. And you know what? I got pictures, but I'll get to those in a second. But Malika in the future, she's setting trends. The guy to her right, my left, is Exo. Remember Exo Man of War? Similar kind of thing. Fire Frost. Can you guess which one is Fire Frost? The one with the fire hand on one side, the ice hand on one side, and the FF on her name. Good guess. And then the other fellow who looks like a Doctor Strange with a mohawk, that is the new Windmaker, the 2025 version. Y'all keeping up? If you want to know the relationship of that Windmaker to the original Windmaker, you're going to have to pick up this. You're going to have to pick up this. And volume 1 of Malika Warrior Queen, which I have somewhere about, but I do not know where the heck I put it. I think I loaned it to somebody and they ain't brought it back to me. I might have to sneak up on them. You know what I mean? Sometimes, people will ask to borrow like a comic or something like that to read, and they don't bring it back. And then I be at their house and I see my comic, I just kind of steal it back. You know what I mean? Hey, you said you was gonna bring it back at such time, and you didn't bring it back. So don't even trip. You know what I mean? Thank you for not spoiling nothing. You say everyone streaming today. Yes. Say Theo dropped 52 lives in one day. It's awesome. Well, if you got time like that, go for it, man. Malika is actually in. Matter of fact, here, let me get you so. Here are some pages from the Oloris. Action pages. We're just gonna go boom like that. Slide me to the side. The robots, coincidentally, that she's fighting are known as dreads. That's some nice art by Mr. Akinboye. And that's Malika, airborne, doing her thing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Oloris. I don't want to give a whole bunch away. You know what I mean? I want y'all to like go out and discover this for yourself and get the feel and energy and the vibe on this, because it's actually a pretty damn good read. You kind of feel like, okay, let me get sentimental on y'all for a hot second. Kind of like how you felt if you were around for the first couple of issues of a comic book character. I guess the earliest thing I can equate it to, or the most recent thing I can equate it to, New Warriors back in the 90s. Youngblood, Wildcats over at Image, when it first, you were jumping on the first couple of issues. It's kind of how the Oloris feels. Like this could be something, but we need to, give it some attention. Even though right now, Unique Studios enjoys a partnership with Dark Horse Comics. We want to give them some attention. I know at one point Dark Horse Comics was them dudes, man, with them Predator kind of alien Predator comics and the Godzilla comics, and and they still make good Godzilla stories. But yeah, Unique Studios and Roye Akupe, y'all should give it a shot. Yeah, I would say it is definitely the art is it's viewable. You know what I mean? I guess that's the best way I could put it. I'm looking through it and it's like, okay, I would read that. I would totes read that. You see what I'm saying? There's stuff going on in this book, man. I mean, they tell a story, but there's also action in it too, man. So it's Malika, Warrior Queen, and the Oloris are both good reads. So I strongly recommend them if you have not food with them. And also in the Oloris, they also have like stories of each individual superhero where they tell the story and then link them all together as one group. And they never really call themselves a group. They just kind of move and act as one. And then towards the end, it's like, oh, there's much good we can do. You know, the old, we getting together and forming a group trope. But, it's nice that, 90% of the group is, they didn't just make it exclusively African, they okay, we gonna put because one of them, the Caucasian guy, I believe, is an American soldier, and Theo, you'd appreciate this guy. He wants revenge on one of the superhumans because they killed his unit or something to that effect. But I kind of get those kind of Frank Castle-y kind of vibes off of him. So it's again, I can't say enough about it, y'all. I can't. TNN. Pretty much. Whenever I look up. You've heard of them. Yes. They to quote Batman, they do tight, efficient work. Yeah, I mean, it looks of a very high caliber and quality. Yes, great, absolutely. I mean, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I like it, love it, want more of it. Can't get enough of these folks. He said, "Word, those '90s teams, word, them '90s teams, bro." I mean, that's the energy I get, because they're already like established in their own way. And then they just kind of come together like, I guess we should work together. Okay, we're gonna stop. I'm gonna stop trying to kill you for a second, and we're gonna work together. And it just kind of becomes that kind of clickalation. It had the first we have a misunderstanding, then we get together kind of energy. And it's got an overreaching villain, and it's like, who is he? And we want to know more about him. And it's I'm in. I'm rocking with it. I do a couple videos here. I do a couple videos. And that's what got me, D, was the artwork. I was like, that is nice art. You know what I'm saying? There's some art, you see it, and it's like, okay, I can only stand like one or two issues of that, and they're gonna have to get another artist. But just like, he gave me that George Perez energy. I ain't saying he was exactly like Perez. I ain't saying that. But, as far as, them guys being on the page and, what I mean, doing what they do together as a squad. Well, you saw the art, you saw how it looked. So, yeah. I'm with it. And I suggest that y'all get with it. It's some good stuff. Good stuff. '90s Predator. Yeah, boy, I was all on them joints, man. I was hey. Dark Horse was popping back in the '90s, man. They was doing their thing. Now, we about 35 minutes in, so I guess we can get with the energy, right? All right, let's go ahead and get with that energy. Talk that talk. Let's talk that talk. Y'all ready to talk that talk? Let's talk about it. What are we talking about today, y'all? Yep. Them cats. Right there. Them cats. X-Men's 97. Oh, we're not quite sure if that's X-Men. Okay, all right. There. That better? X-Men 97. This is what we're watching come March 20th, which is actually my official anniversary. Can we go ahead and answer that tough question? Because there's a lot of different ways this could be looked at. First, what demographic? Y'all saw it coming, huh? What demographic is X-Men 97 aimed at? Let me put it like this. Is it aimed at the nostalgic? Is it aimed at the people who just want to feel like they belong to something? Or no particular audience? We just said, let's pull X-Men out of our hat and revive that show. I kind of feel like it's going to be a combination of the first and the third group, are the people who are going to enjoy it the most. X-Men ran from when? Like 92 to 96. Those people are currently 30 somethings now, early 30s. Is X-Men 97 aimed at them? Or is X-Men 97 aimed at somebody like me, who enjoys comic book canon and accuracy, or as accurate as you can make it? Or just a Marvel stand? Oh, I'm just happy it's some Marvel stuff on. Who is that show aimed at? I mean, specifically, for it to be successful, it's got to be aimed. If you think I'm lying, check out the handiwork of one William Hanna and Joseph Barbera. They aimed their television shows at a specific demographic. Okay? Johnny Quest, Birdman, Herculoids, Space Ghost, Galaxy Trio, Impossibles, all those type of shows were aimed at little Caucasian boys. I mean, it caught the rest of us too, because it was either that or nothing. But that's who that was aimed at. And that's who that had the biggest impact on. And then that's when they went with the Scooby-Doo formula, Hong Kong Phooey, Chan Clan, Jabberjaw, Josie and the Pussycats, all that. that was aimed towards a more diverse group of people and not just the little boys. Now you fast forward some 26, 27 years, and you got X-Men. '92, wasn't X-Men one of the hottest selling comic books in the world? So let's cash in on that popularity. And who was reading those comic books? It wasn't the people born from 92 to 95. Right? That's us, y'all. So that should be the demographic you trying to make happy. Should be. What? Y'all are buzzing unless y'all all saying hi to each other. White folks is y'all are not a slow group, and that is what I like about y'all. Now, will Disney subvert it or deconstruct it? Ooh, I like that. You know what? You know what? Morph being non-binary. Unless you are speaking on behalf of all the non-binary people in the world, why can't we focus simply on Morph being a superhero who happens to be non-binary? It's just like I told y'all, North Star announcing that he was gay was done in context of the book, not for a moment. North Star getting married didn't feel like a gimmick. No more of a gimmick than Jean Grey and Scott Summers getting married. So you see what I'm getting at? That's one of the issues. That's just one. And who has those issues? People who was reading X-Men comics in the 90s? Probably not. Nostalgic and MCU fans are who D. Steezel feels will be watching X-Men 97. Nostalgic, definitely, because you're tugging at a particular string. Because I want it to be successful. I've got my PlayStation 4. Yes, I still have my PlayStation 4 plugged up upstairs in my bedroom, and I use it as a DVD and a Blu-ray player. Yes, I still play my DVDs and Blu-rays. Why? Because I don't want to pay $3.99 to watch a movie that I could just slip into a DVD player / Blu-ray player and watch for free. Does that make sense? I mean, I sound like an old dude, but I ain't getting beat out of $3.99 to rent a movie that I can watch for free. That makes no sense to me. Until my PlayStation breaks, till the wheels fall off. Is what it is. To be real, this is probably the only old Marvel animated show Feige liked. Yeah, because X-Men animated crossed nerd barriers. And it wasn't just appealing to the nerds. MCFU fair weather fans. You, sir, are consistent. Probably Steezel, but how will Feige mangle it? He will find a way. Nothing they do is made for comic fans. Why doesn't everybody else see that, D? Why doesn't everybody else see that? It is the weirdest stuff to me. Weirdest thing I ever seen. God, no, please don't. Just let it. Why can't, and that's another question I've always had. Why can't things be their own thing? Why do you have to tie everything into the MCU? I remember there was a time you could have a whole separate DC animated universe, and then you had like the DC movie animated universe, and those two didn't. You know what I'm saying? You didn't mix the cartoon with the animated feature. You know what I'm saying? Crisis on Two Earths didn't have nothing to do with the Justice Lords. So that kind of a thing. You know? And no, don't tie it in. Please don't tie it in. Let it be its own thing, because remember, in that same universe, we got who? T'Challa, the Avengers, definitely Captain America, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. We done seen a bunch of people in that universe. Doctor Strange. Come on now. See what I'm saying? It done been them little cameos. We can expound on them little cameos if we need to. That would make for a much more interesting universe than trying to just tie it in, you know? Morph is Disney trying to gaslight a part of the fan base. That make them sense to me. That make them lots and lots and lots of sense to me. Only made for animation / comics characters I like is X-23. Was it X-Men Evolution? Where we finally got to see. And that's the whole thing right there. Are we gonna want to see X-Men Evolution? We gonna see what we want to see what else happened with X-Men Evolution. We want to see what else happened in the Wolverine and X-Men TV show. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Or even the Japanese imported X-Men, where Storm's got the short haircut and the, you know what I mean? So yeah. Didn't think I was paying attention, did y'all? I sure was. A non-binary shapeshifter is the equivalent of Duran Duran or Bruce Brutes. It's the same thing repeated twice. I agree. I'm here on CP time. How are y'all? Not on CP time, Paul Martin. Pick up those feet and get here with the rest of us, pal. That's in love. That's in love. You know I don't mean that by it. If the demographic were watching X-Men of the 90s, the MCU thinks it's going to attract those 30 plus. What the MCU is missing is that the 90s comic themes may be out of touch with the reality of today. As always, insightful. Insightful. Word. I agree. 150%. I'll check it out, but I'm not expecting greatness, not falling for these glowing early reviews. No, I'm from Missouri. You got to show me. You got to show me. Y'all, reviews ain't nothing compared to somebody watching it and saying. You know, and I feel like reviews, well, I don't feel like, I know. Reviews are that come out early are designed to make the viewership lean in a direction. Why wouldn't I review it early? To get you to come out on a limb and go, ooh, 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 he said it's good, so I'm gonna check it out. Word of mouth is more powerful than any review. Remember that. Word of mouth is more powerful than any review. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's like the riddle of steel. You know, what is steel compared to the hand that wields it? And then he makes some girl jump off a high perch and kill herself. So I'm getting that right there. Where's the power at? Who's truly holding the power? Is the power in the X-Men, or is the power in the viewers of X-Men? Conan Deep Cut. And it's also about swords, so it's a double entendre. See, I'm educated. Anyway, Anime Storm. Yeah, buddy. Two thumbs. I'm not gonna say it. 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 I gotta do a Thulsa Doom cosplay. You gonna have on you have on that wig with the bangs? Please send me a picture. Please send me a picture if you do a Thulsa Doom cosplay. I would love to see that. Exactly. They're influencers saying y'all aren't ready does nothing for me. That part. Thulsa was pimp. He was, you know what I'm saying? You got folks lying around in your house having orgies while you turn into a snake. I feel like that was symbolism for something. With all of this debauchery around us being orchestrated by a snake. What is the nature of a snake versus the perceived nature of a snake? You know what I'm saying? We perceive elephants, snakes, owls. We perceive them a certain way versus how they are. That's how I feel about X-Men 97. We are perceiving X-Men 97 a certain way versus how it really is. You feel me? I'm like y'all. I'm gonna be here for it. I'm gonna tune in for it. I'm gonna check it out. But ultimately, what are we saying it's gonna be? I mean, are we believing what everybody is, or is everybody just like, screw you, man? We gonna watch X-Men. Okay. All right. Watch X-Men. Let me know what go on with it. Dang. Y'all just woo. Okay. Okay. Wow. Apprehensive. Yeah. Indeed. Apprehensive. That's what you tend to think. Perceived. That's what you think. You know. I remember Jaimin Hansu working on a Thulsa Doom project. His likeness was used for Dynamite Comics miniseries. Wow. Wow. It's going to be gentrified for hipsters. Gentrified. Indeed. Okay. Y'all, I want to challenge y'all sensibility right now. How many of y'all remember Martha Washington and this story right here in particular? I know there are a lot of us that don't know a thing about Martha Washington. Okay, so D-Real gonna put you up on game. All right, once upon a time, there used to be, well, I know some of my Midwestern folk are gonna appreciate this. Once upon a time, there used to be a project in Chicago called Cabrini Green. Okay, Cabrini Green was known notoriously for two things: being Cabrini Green and Candyman. All right. Enter Martha Washington, who grows up in Cabrini Green. So that tells you already Martha Washington ain't no punk. Okay? She eventually ends up enlisting in the military and becoming a war hero and just this decorated soldier, and faced all kind of threats and overcame them. If I had to equate Martha Washington to anybody, it would probably be Flash Gordon. Yeah, she's no more powerful than a human physically can be, but she's socking people in the nose. She knocking folks out. Anyway, the reason why this is so interesting, Martha Washington becomes an astronaut. Okay. But the world is being run. Get ready. By an artificial intelligence. 1998. Yeah, that was the same year DMX dropped 2 platinum albums in 1 year. Yeah, that one. But long story short, Martha Green meets an extraterrestrial. This extraterrestrial looks very much like Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan, except he's got hair and he's a different color. But same kind of butt nakedness, same kind of power. Similar. I wouldn't say it's reality altering, but a lot more powerful than anything we'd seen at this point. Long story short, this artificial intelligence is able to take on a humanoid form in the form of like a robot or an artificial being or something like that. And it takes the form of this blue woman. And this blue woman ends up sexing Martha Washington's boyfriend up. And it's weird because Martha Washington has a Native American boyfriend, and his last name, get ready, Wasserstein. I know. I know. But long story short, Martha Washington, with the help of some buddies, overcomes this artificial intelligence and shows that human ingenuity cannot be substituted. We still got to be around, blah, blah, blah. That whole story. But this was 1998. This was 1998. Frank Miller and Dave Gibbons, the same guys that wrote, yeah, Watchmen. Yeah, and Frank Miller did Dark Knight Returns. Frank Miller did Sin City. So Frank Miller ain't afraid to break a few norms. So were they before their time? Because now it seems like we are incredibly ensconced in artificial intelligence and AI related things. And now we need our AI to work. Now we need our AI to have fun. It's yeah. But that's what this story is about. And I feel like that's ripe for a movie. That's ripe for a script treatment. That right there. Yeah, that's what I said. And a lot of it is about Martha's mental fortitude, because she gets a chip implanted in her brain, and this chip tells them how they should behave. This chip tells them what they should be doing, what they should be looking at. What, you see what I'm saying? It's that kind of a story. And she's strong enough to where she's like, she, and she's bleeding out of her nose because she's trying to resist this chip, So it's a really good story. And I mean, if you've seen you've seen Dave Gibbons' art before, you know what I'm saying? Watchmen. Did you like the way Watchmen look? It looks like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and then there's a lot of, outer space battles, and there's a lot of, space walking and, encounters with aliens and Martha Washington carries her old saber from her infantry days when she was in the war, and she's cutting into robots and all. It's a cool book. It's a cool read, and I feel like, boom, Gray said it. Gray said it. Boom. Tiana Paris could. That's my first choice, though. That's my first choice right there, because that's immediately who I think of when I look at that image. That's immediately who I think of when I look at that image. You know what I'm saying? And she also kind of becomes a bit of a starship captain. You know what I mean? Because it's the starship that she's always wanted to fly, let alone, be the captain of. So there's a lot of stuff going on. It would rock as a movie. It will 100% rock as a movie. And that's the kind of, stuff I'm keeping in my head and tossing around and thinking about, hey, should we be doing this? Should we not be doing that? Hey, why are we wasting our time fooling around with the MCFU, as Gray puts it? We could be creating our own stuff. You got Oloris over here. You got Black Sands. You got, I'm sure Frank Miller, he'd probably be a hard sell. But if it was, if he know where somebody's coming from with it. Because back in the 90s at comic book conventions, young Black women would dress up as Martha Washington. So it'd be nice to kind of resurrect this as a, a symbol, a character, something, to look up to. Wasn't there a spin-off story? Oh yeah, there was several. Yeah. There were 2 story arcs that kind of centered around the war. Then there was another story arc that kind of centered around her being in space. And then there's this one. And then there's one called The Final Martha Washington Story, or The Last Martha Washington Story, or something like that. I can't remember the name specifically, but I know it was supposedly chronicled the final adventure of Martha Washington. So many unique stories you can tell with AI. Writers usually fall into played out tropes. This sounds more in that unique category. I would love to see something like that, D. It's just like we don't, like, I thought Ready Player One was very fanciful while at the same time rooted in some real stuff. You know what I mean? We actually got, how we've got, stuff that's haptic, and, just a matter of time before it becomes the norm. With the VR stuff and the VR suit. And yeah, I thought that was a very unique concept. And it also incorporated the nostalgia in the form of, DeLoreans and King Kong and Godzilla and the Iron Giant, and that kind of thing. So it was something for everyone in that movie. You took something that wouldn't necessarily have been family fare and made it family fare. I feel like you could do something like that with this, as long as you kept that AI aspect of it prominent. Because the way Venus is depicted in this, she's kind of Venus is the name of the AI. She's kind of Ultron like. Because, she can be in a computer, or she could be in one of her bodies, or she could take over a ship. And, you know what I'm saying? She's an artificial intelligence like that. I can be everywhere and everything. I don't necessarily have to have a body. I can take over your space station and be talking to you as your space station. Because that's what she did to Martha Washington, like in the first book, because it's a 3-book story arc. The ship is crashing, and while it's crashing, it's talking to her. And the whole motivation behind the AI, check it. The whole motivation behind the AI is forever men have worshipped a god, but never seen it. I am making that God visible. I'm electrical impulses. And as far as you know, that's all God is electrical impulses. And that's how God can affect you, because you creatures, your brains run on electricity and that kind of a thing. So yeah, trust me, it would have horror, sci-fi, action, comedy, all of that could be rolled up in that one story. So I thought it was. Tiana would be great in a mocap role for AAA story-driven video games. Yeah, they should capture her emotion as often as they can. Read on Ready Player One. Ready Player One was very cyberpunk to me. Yeah, but gotta have AI involved if you got cyberpunk going on. just a given. I thought Minority Report was clever too. Didn't give it enough credit. I didn't think that movie got enough credit. Venus is an Ultron's Ultron. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. So like Jocasta times 100. If Jocasta was bent on taking over the earth and being a god of all mankind, yes. Absolutely yes. Give the film a dope soundtrack and the sisters will come. Yeah. Get her to do the soundtrack? Yeah. Her doing the soundtrack would probably be. Yeah, I like her style. I like how she vibes. I like how she flows. Look here. Okay, let's see. We hit the Oloris, Malika, Martha. Okay. Before I share this last little piece of stuff with y'all, I want to tell you about something important. My finger. Okay. The other day, oh my goodness, I cut it deep, but you can't tell because it healed so well. It's weird to me. I'm kind of shocked at how fast I healed from so deep a cut. It's freakish almost, you know. The only reason I'm keeping the band-aid on is, you know, to give the wound time to like kind of close a little more. This was Sunday and it's Thursday and it's closed. If you'd have saw it on Sunday and the way it was bleeding, you'd have thought I needed stitches. And then at one point, I was thinking to myself, I probably should go down the street and get stitches. But I'm like, nah, bruh. This is what you used to do in wartime situations. You've healed or put dressings on worse injuries than this. So I did it. I did it. And I'm on the mend. Now, this guy told you about them underground blindfold dagger tournaments. It ain't a safe hobby, my man. Yeah, it's not. It's not a safe hobby at all. But let's talk for a brief moment about loyalty and betrayal. Okay. I wasn't going to. It seems like when things go on in my life, I find a way to work them into this show edgewise. I don't think people understand the concept of one, and they are too quick to act on the other. Work with tools, I've cut my fingers 100 times, needed stitches only once. Bruh, I was bleeding like a sieve. But I am not sure what I saw transpire, but I know someone else saw it transpire too. And they said nothing. Now, without being too particular, I work with two individuals in a popular capacity. And they work in a popular capacity on their own. Now, one of these individuals came to one of my shows this past weekend. Now, I'm not sure if it was purposeful or if it was just because they was high and drunk and they was just kind of and just, kind of ripping off saying whatever, whatever. I get that. But when you enjoying yourself to the point where everybody around you in the audience isn't, you have to take an account. You have to take an account. Not saying it's purposeful, not saying it's thought out or anything like that, but you have to take an account. And this is a person who said, I FUX with you. I roll with you. The other person is somebody who said, I FUX with you. You my peoples. I roll with you. Or at the very least, I'm down for whatever you down for. If it betters my bottom line, I'll roll with you to better my bottom line. So you don't come into a situation with a person like that who you're calling an ally, who you're calling somebody you want to be able to rely on, and then do some shit like that. You know what I mean? I felt some kind of way about it. It didn't stop. It didn't stop, you know what I mean? Anything from happening per se. The show was still the show, but I felt like there was energy on everybody's part, including performers that felt a certain way about that show and was like to the point where they was like ready to touch somebody. Yeah. I deal with artists who are serious about their art form, so they feel a certain way. If somebody is coming in there other than to enjoy a show. And that's how you should feel. I mean, is it real or is it not real? You know what I mean? I don't. The worst thing you could do with me is smile in my face, but then be plotting and talking about me when I'm not around. I don't like that. If you don't like me, I would have more respect for you if you simply just say, I don't like you. And we go about our way. But to sit under me, not saying nothing, knowing there's somebody that's plotting and doing some snake shit, but you ain't saying nothing, but you call yourself being loyal to me and mine. I don't like that. And I could be 100% wrong, and that ain't the case. But because ain't nobody came forward and said what is and what ain't, all I know is I had to stop somebody from leaving backstage and going and putting hands on somebody. Because another person is out in the audience being an a-hole. And they know they're being an a-hole, but they don't care. Because after the show, we all come outside and shake hands and, hey, how you doing? And hi, it was nice to see you. Wasn't none of that. Why? Okay. I'm 57. I ain't got time for stuff like that. That's childish bullshit. Okay? Period. it's childish. Oh, I heard this, or you said that, or I want to do this. I don't like what y'all doing, so I'm gonna come over here and F with it. I don't like what y'all doing. Don't nobody like what y'all. I'm gonna come over here because you know what I'm saying. I used to be a part of this organization, but I left, and then the organization blew up. Now I want to come back, but I feel like I can't work in the dynamic of the organization no more because people like they didn't like the circumstances under which I left. So now this is the person who's the crux of the issue, or appears to be the crux of the issue. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I mean, just say it is how I feel. Just be done. I don't like y'all. I hope y'all and be done and keep it pushing. You know, because Anchorage is small. And some of the venues I get promoted in, they get promoted in. Some of the places I go to and do shows, they go to and do shows. Now, if you're going to see me, and you know you're going to see me, you ain't got to break bread. You ain't got to be no a-hole either. You know, it's enough bread out here where everybody can eat. And I ain't trying to snatch no pork chop off nobody's plate. But at the same time, next time, I'm going to turn her loose. Period. Next time, I'm going to maybe that's what I should have did. I should have just let old girl just tune her up. And then we'd have been done. But I ain't got time for that kind of stuff, man. I don't want to be bothered with all that BS, man. It's childish. It's childish. You know what I'm saying? And it's easier to talk about somebody behind their back where they, you know they ain't gonna say nothing versus hearing some stuff that you don't really want to hear, you know, or somebody coming for you, pulling up at your door like, hey, we ain't standing in no theater now. What it do? Okay. I know people like that. I know people who live for that kind of stuff. I know people who go to the gym praying for stuff like that. Females, women, ladies, girls, whatever you want to call them. They waiting for that moment. They waiting for the call. You know what I'm saying? Y'all understand, man. When you done been in a universe and you done walked around and seen some things and done some things, and you know when you're getting a certain type of energy, that certain energy is only going to bring A, B, or C. A is a positive outcome. B and C, they ain't so positive. And we ain't looking at option A. We looking at B or C, bad or worse. Don't make it come down to bad or worse. They have long-reaching ramifications. And it's not a threat. It's just action, reaction. Choose your actions carefully. Sometimes people don't choose their actions carefully and then be upset about the reaction. I don't want you to be upset about the reaction, boo-boo. Because old girl's a whole dog. You just don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to shut up. I don't want to put nobody's business out there. I don't want to put nobody's business out there. But my thing is, I know who I roll with and I know who I don't roll with. And when people do things that show me who they are, because sometimes doing nothing shows me something. Saying nothing shows me something. And I'm more pissed about people not doing something or not saying something versus what they would or wouldn't do. I'm sorry, I've been talking. Bad energy. Yes, Gray, that is exactly what it is. Bad effing energy. And they do not want me to be that street cat. They do not want to see him. He still know how to reach out and touch people when he have to reach out and touch people. That's not a threat. Not a threat. Just a fact. Two-faced? Is it a such thing as being three-faced, Theo? Because that's the kind of energy I got. You know, you sit next to me, not saying nothing, but this person's over here being public a-hole number one, but then later on, you going to go and hang out with this person later. You and this person going to go kick it. You and this person going to go do things. But you do things with me. I understand. Say less. Well, if somebody's about to get touched, then something's way out of order. That person is not true blue. No, they not. And Grand Madam, quiet is kept. I think they got a little, you know what I'm saying? Got a little, some stuff loose, you know, and won't address it or ain't addressing it. You know what I mean? But like I said, I can't do nothing when it happens. It ain't even gonna be on me. I don't fight girls, you know. But when you got people mad, jealousy in their spirit like Starscream. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, unfortunately. If somebody's sitting there murder mouthing you and the one supposedly holding you down haven't given you the heads up, you got a mind. And that, come on, yo, is the one I am more concerned about than this one over here bumping their gums. Because you sitting in my midst, pretending. Like, don't nobody see that. I see you. I see you. I see everything you did. But they don't understand that. Yes. Yes. Like that, Gray. Like that. Oh, yeah. I got a few. I got a few. I got a few. let's just say I can make a phone call and some things can happen. So I'm not it ain't, and you know what? It don't even get like that until you start you messing with this right here. I don't have no sense of humor when you messing with my money. I'm not telling no jokes when you messing with my money. You know what I mean? Let's get that established first. Don't come in here effing with nothing or trying to F with nothing. But and move on. Bruh, I walked away from my football team and an entire league because I felt the energy. 3 years ago to this day, it's only one person from that entire league I associate with. I get it, man. I 100% get it. People will show you how they feel about you. before they come and get up enough courage to say how they feel about you. You know what I mean? Because you grinning, smiling in my face 1 second, but then you plotting my downfall the next. One or two things. You was fake from the rip, or you are effing crazy. One, I can help you with because I'm a professional. The other one, I can help you with that one too. But you probably wouldn't like the assistance I would provide. You and I both felt the energy shift when someone started razzing you consistently about your age. Where is he today? Where indeed, my brother? Where indeed? Theo, ain't that just the worst? How long was all that resentment building, and how many were influenced into hating you? Hating. Bruh, I feel like tons of people hate me. You know what I mean? But I can't sit around and let that be my every waking thought. Because if I think about how many people hate me, wish for my downfall, wish I fall down the steps and break my leg, something like that, I wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. You know, but it's that self-same energy of them people that have the audacity to wish I would crawl in a hole and die, or I would stop doing what I'm doing because they want to be a part of it and they scared to. You know, it's like, it's one thing for me to say you could be a part of this, and then you just act like I didn't say anything. You could have been a part of that. You distanced yourself from it with your words and your actions. Don't nobody call the week of a performance and say, I ain't gonna be there. How do you expect people to feel about something like that? Because let's get to the heart of it. That's what it was. You felt the people felt a certain way about you, so you were afraid to come and speak your mind to these people. Now, instead of speaking your mind to these people, all you got for them is rancor and hate. Not a good look. Don't know, don't care. I rocks with those that rock with me. That part. You know what I'm saying? I'm upward and onward. I ain't losing no sleep. Y'all feel me? That's where I'm at with it. I ain't trying to lose no sleep. It's cathartic just talking. You know what I mean? And in my mind, you know, it makes me think. And then I'm listening y'all chat in the chat, and I'm thinking, yeah. I grew up in projects too, Kamaya. And sometimes project business is project business if that's where it need to end up going. But like I said, that's not my option A. You know what I mean? That's not my option A. I'm an adult. You know what I mean? I would rather talk to you than let this raging, angry woman who feels like you've had it coming for a long time and loves to fight is unleashed upon you. And I don't want to do that because that's not cool. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I do not. I am not that person. But again, Stop it. I don't care if it's 10 cents, $10, or $10,000. It's mine. Don't F with it. Period. Or we will let you know about it. You don't want. Woo! Woo! Like Sugar Free say, don't stand over by us before people think we just like. You don't like me, stay away from me. You don't like me, stay away from me. You don't like me, stay away from me. Done. Okay. My brain's good. My brain's good. Brother Theo is in the chat. And as y'all full well know, Brother Theo and myself get together on Fridays. 1 week might be on his page, another week might be on my page, and we do a little thing we call Friday Vibing with G Rig and Theo B, where we talk about the usual stuff that we talk about, but we in a more relaxed state of mind. It's not high energy. We just kind of kicking back in the cut, watching the game unfold, calling it like we see it. That's gonna be tomorrow. Stay tuned for the posts and the drops, and because Theo, it's your turn. It's Friday, we vibing. Well, it's not quite Friday here. Not quite Friday there, either, but it's closer there. But yeah, everybody that's in here tonight, make sure y'all tune in for Friday Vibing. It's a vibe. Don't know if we'll have a special guest this weekend. I'm still working on a couple. Not gonna tell you who, but judging from the other two, did your man come through or did your man come through? Have faith, faithful. You know what I mean? I'm bring something. Bring something. I don't know who, I don't know what, but I'm bringing something. Theo said he got a surprise gift. You got a surprise guest. I think I know who your surprise guest is. Are y'all gonna talk about them chickens coming home to roost? Probably. Yeah. Let's do it. I'm with it. Whatever's clever. Let's see here. I guess we have reached that point. Well, we do that right there. Do that right here. That right here. Do that right here. That right here. Get that Q&A. Yeah. So, y'all pull on up for that. Y'all pull on up for that. Kerr. Gonna pull up for that. Y'all got questions? I got answers. I think. Talk to me. What we talking about? Yes, I did. And he is comparable in speed to Tyreek Hill. So, could be a problem. Could be. Have to wait and see how he do. That is one of my favorite movies, Gray. Mackin' and hanging. Mackin' and hanging. All my life, baby, I've been macking and hanging. A case of Dr. Pepper says you won't guess the person. I don't drink Dr. Pepper. Okay. Maybe I can't guess. How about that? So what is the Impossible Cities end game? Okay. First, does the Impossible City have an end game? The Impossible City is holding the Ashen Combine. Let's not forget that. I feel like if the Impossible City was going to do something to the Avengers that would cause them harm, they would have already done it. Also, we learned in the most recent of Avengers comics, the Impossible City has no internal defenses. So what can the Impossible City do to the Avengers? I don't think. Nah. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if the Impossible City is ultimately the Space Phantom or something. You know what I mean? It gonna be what it gonna be. You're gonna see that Magical Negro movie with David Alan Grier. Yeah, if they show it here though. Because in Alaska, sometimes, man, when they get them controversial Negro movies, they just forego Alaska altogether. Or those Negro movies that they feel like it ain't gonna be on enough screens. We didn't get the Outlaw Johnny Black up here. It didn't even show in theaters. So, yeah, if we get the movie, yes, I will, Paul Martin. Whatever Brandon saw, okay, I think we already did it. Have I read the latest issue synopsis? Have I read? I got a variant as well. Kind of the one I want to do all my touching on. Dane Whitman. Not one of my favorite Avengers. Just so you know. Okay. Unsolved mysteries. Unsolved mysteries may not necessarily portend something bad. We didn't know a lot of stuff about Wolverine, and when we found it out, it didn't necessarily mean it was bad. It was just some stuff we didn't know. Grace, where did the MCFU fail at? Asking for dummies who blames the moviegoers who they want to see the movie. Everything from phase 4 on. When you, well, not you, but when Disney and Marvel said what the audience wants is more important than what the fan wants. To me, That's where they went left. And the train just tumbled off the trestle and down the side of the mountain and crashed and burned in a twisted, mangled mass of molten metal known as Marvel movie cinematic madness universe BS. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah. And ain't no superhero fatigue, just poorly told superhero stories. As Aquaman in a Lost Kingdom. Now, everybody and their mama knows in comic continuity, Black Manta kills Aquaman's son. Why we ain't get that? Why we ain't get that? You're overcooking the gumbo. You're going out of your way to avoid death when death was part of the canon. Look like some canceled projects need some hashtags all of a sudden. But that's none of my business. Well, when you make all them projects and you don't account how much they're going to cost and you just, oh, it's just money. We make billions. Let's make another $200 million movie. I think they shot that scene and the initial fans walked out. I am so glad I was not in the theater for Quantum Mania. You know what I mean? That kicked off. And everybody tried to cover it up. Everybody, oh, Quantum Mania was Quantum Mania. But then that second week, oh, Quantum Mania is. You can put syrup on doo-doo and call it pancakes all you want. And for, what was that? Past 4 or 5 years, they've been shoveling S on S in front of us and expecting us to call it pancakes. Just kept doing it. Just kept doing it. And then was like, hey, we could do this on streaming too if we wanted. Let's do it. You got one series that people universally like, and I ain't even one of them. Everybody seems to think Loki is this masterpiece. I don't like it, Reg. I don't. I've never liked it. And oh, Loki's great. No, Loki's so and oh, and this. Whatever. Don't see the fascination at all. Had they kept that scene, they would get an Oscar nom. Hey, why? Why would you take that out? That makes no sense to me at all. And that would have been such a curveball for the folks that don't know the story. Oh my God, pathos, people. Pathos. Ain't that, don't they teach you that when you're a young thespian, when you're a young director, when you're a young writer. We gotta have that. Some people go overboard and put too much of it in there, Ryan Coogler. But it does have to be in there to some degree. Thinking of Netflix Karen Page surviving Fisk and Bullseye made 0 sense. Loki is defrosted caribou dung. Yeah. Okay, let's go with that. That was worse trash than Loki, Paul Martin. WandaVision. Only series I really actually enjoyed was the first season of What If. That I can 100% say that was cool to me. There's one in that pile of doo-doo. We can sift through all that doo-doo and pull out What If. Brush it off and polish it up and disinfect it and all that. That's it. Only one. And you would think, they learned something from that. Nope. Playing it safe to avoid hurting someone's feelings. I'm whatever. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm just voicing my opinion. And that's it. If your opinion is not the same as mine, that's what makes the world beautiful. That you don't think the same exact stuff I think. I want people to be like, oh, I love the hell out of Loki. It was a television masterpiece. I love WandaVision. It was a television masterpiece. No. You got to give me some action while I'm waiting for the finale. And then they make that mistake with their series. I don't give you no action or little to no action throughout the series. And then I think the compensation or the payoff is I'm going to give you all the action in this last episode. No. Stupid. Is there only action at the end of a comic book? But that's what happens when you hire people that don't read them. Loki didn't take until the season finale. Think about that. It still ain't took with me, Gray. I think they were afraid of offending a specific demographic. They may have saved the Mateen some unnecessary hateful grief from the offended parties. Tell them, bro. Once word got out, that scene would have put butts in seats. Yeah. I proudly stay in that minority who dislikes WandaVision and Loki. Hey, D, I proudly stay in that minority that dislikes damn near every streaming Disney series ever. Or Marvel Disney streaming series ever. They all felt like filler for something else, not independent things that, you know what I mean? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had more heart than a lot of these streaming series. When Battlestar was bumped off, they lost me. I fell asleep on Moon Knight starting with episode 9. But then again, I was biased because my Moon Knight fan cast was Burn Notice star Jeff Donner. Loki wasn't even Doctor Who level. Damn you, Loki. Episode 5. Gotcha. All these fools talking about, I'll never forgive y'all who didn't see this movie. That is not how the movie-going experience works. If a movie is good, people will go see it. That, Gray, the showrunners got caught up on the old sitcom aspect of WandaVision. They're all either bad or mid. That's true. That right there would have been a great opportunity to throw all or as many of your supernatural based characters that will plausibly fit. Your Blade, your brother Voodoo, not just your Werewolf by Night. Why are people scared to pull the trigger on stuff that's not an IP, like Dracula? Why can you not have a Dracula in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Why? For the same reason you can't have an Atlantis? We didn't want to bite anybody's style, so we decided to give him the name Drake, and we decided to call Atlantis Loken and let lots of Latinos populate it. Come on. Please. Missed opportunity. That is about what I think. That's about where I'm at. They're all either bad or at the most, you know. I mean, What If season 1? That's the only one I could clearly say I enjoyed that. Because they didn't have to stick to no canon except their own. BP2 script was, yeah. Loki equaled Doctor Who plus Sherlock Holmes. And not many people are Whovians. They're a very rare breed. And so to ape what's already rare, classically, not a win. That is a very good way of describing them. Spectacle with no substance. Man-Thing did look great in that show. Man-Thing also looked great in, I'm sorry, that was Swamp Thing. That Swamp Thing series was banging. They canceled that after one season. I'm like, y'all suck ass. Anyway, they all got that Nate Moore logic in their projects, and it's too far spread, hence the cancellations. You had supernatural characters all in one location, so why didn't you? You could have added. But put them all in there. Yeah, living mummy. Oh, you could have, man, you could have found a plausible way to work them all in there. Period. And some Brother Voodoo. You know what I'm saying? Make up some of y'all goofy MCU, or well, since they didn't want me to be master of mystic arts, I did this. Man Wolf. Nah, Man Wolf's more scientific. Meanwhile, Namer's father is still Leonard Mackenzie in the comics. No continuity in their own movies. Why wouldn't W'Kabi have told Killmonger that Bucky was in Wakanda? His loyalty to T'Challa made him a threat. Only thing I didn't like was Elsa Bloodstone looked like a Jessica Jones cosplayer. Yeah, and she didn't do nothing. Why you make Elsa Bloodstone look like a scrub? The raft exists, yet you have hardly any Earth-based metahuman villains. Yeah, Paul, because they murder them all. or a good majority of them. You know what I'm saying? Why do you even have the raft? Because first off, ain't the raft for superhumans? Ain't the vault for superhumans? You can send regular old criminals to regular old prison. The Abomination, I think, is the only somebody incarcerated. And why is he incarcerated? Of all people, well, wait a minute, She-Hulk. You know what? I don't care. That part. The Elsa Bloodstone action figure looks more physically imposing. Yes, she does. And she's got much longer hair. Raph, one inmate. Raph, pointless. Damage Control is in charge of Abomination. Stupid. Don't Elsa have red hair? Yes. Thoughts on a Flash Gordon movie? I wish they would make one. A good one. A respectful one. Yeah. And this time include Thun, but make him a lion man like he's supposed to be. That could be a black guy with makeup. I don't care. And include Thun because Flash and Thun were supposed to have been buds at one time or another. They didn't even meet each other in that 1980 movie. Who would I cast as Flash? You know what? I ain't thought about that. Let me think about that. Let me think about that for a second. Who would I cast as Flash Gordon? Hmm. Bobby Lockwood. That guy. I'd cast him as Flash. He's got that build. He's got that look. He's got that look that chicks dig. He was on a show called Anubis. I don't know if anybody ever watched that, but yeah. I would want Flash to be somebody youthful. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who looks college age, high school to college age. You know, not a because I mean, in the comic strip, Flash Gordon was a college student, right? What age would Flash Gordon be if he was in college? That's like 18 to 25. I feel like somebody like a like a giant beefcake type cat, like say maybe like an Alan Ritchson type cat. He I know he looks like he's like a little older than college age. He was on Blue Mountain State, but that was a while ago. So there you go. What we got? One of the Chris's. John Cena. Too old. Alan Ritson. Too old for the reasons I described. Okay. Yeah. I think Flash Gordon either played polo or lacrosse, I want to say, in college. He was either a polo player or a lacrosse player. One of them two. So there you go. Flash Gordon. I don't know the positions in lacrosse, but that right there. Alexander Ludwig. Yeah, he would. Yeah, I could see Alexander Ludwig as Flash Gordon. Who do we want for Ming? Do we want Ming to actually be like an Asian cat, or do we want to get like a? Could we get away with what we did like in the 80s? Could we get away with a Caucasian guy playing somebody named Ming? Flash was a quarterback in the movie, Paul. We're talking about the comic strip. Flash Gordon wasn't a quarterback in the original King Features syndicated comic strip. Ming gotta be Asian. What Asian actor got enough presence? My man from what's my man's name? Oh my God, Last Samurai. There it is. That guy, Hiroyuki Sanada. Yeah, he could do Ming. He could definitely do Ming because he's got those faces where and he makes boy, he was giving Tom Cruise some dirty looks in The Last Samurai. And just, unlike you. You ain't Japanese. Just beating him up. Zac Efron. Maybe somebody flunked a couple times. He getting up there too. He's like mid 30s, mid late 30s. Zac Efron. You know what? I can find out. Yeah, boy. Boom. Yep, 36. Zac Efron is currently 36. Who is your princess? Princess Aura. Okay. Well, if we're making Hiroyuki Sanada Ming the Merciless, then we need an Asian gal to be Princess Aura. So, who's a nice looking Asian actress that could play Princess Aura? I keep thinking of people who are old. I keep forgetting all the hot Asian chicks I thought were like hot are in their 50s now. So it wouldn't be any of them. Yes. Yeah. I'd have to see Jessica Henwick play a minx, play a seductress. I have to see her be seductive. You know what I mean? If I was the director or the person casting or what, she'd have to show me a lot of, because in most of Aura's iterations, she's sensuous and seductive and manipulative. I have to, if she can pull that off, then yes, she can be my Princess Aura. Winged guy. Voltan has a look about him. Short, round, and even animated versions of Voltan were kind of bulbous, if you will. So we live in a day and age of people being in great physical shape. Who can we get with a dumpy, round, apple-shaped dad bod to play Voltan? Because that's what Voltan looks like. I can yank the figure out right now and show you. He's round. You could try to make it a little buff, but he has to be round. Is Ray Winstone still alive? I haven't heard nothing from him in a minute. Yeah, I guess he is still alive. Well, wishing death on Ray Winstone. Yes. Yes, Ray Winstone could pull it off. He could. Yeah. Good cast. Damn good cast. These Diesel, you could see Lu Yifei, Chinese girl from Mulan. Or what was that? What's that one girl's name? The one who played Blink. Fan Fan Bing. Bing Fan Fan. Fan Bing Bing. Bing Bing Fan. Bing Bing Fan. She could probably do it. But I don't know how sultry she could be. That gal on Pacific Rim, I forget her name, but she was in 47 Ronin and she was like playing a sorceress. She was pretty temptress, seductive behaving in that role. She might be able to pull it off. There's a few gals that could probably pull it off. Baron. Who would we get for Prince Baron? Who's a good actor, a good smooth, that looks good with a nice thin mustache and, you know what I'm saying, kind of has that Errol Flynn energy and, you know what, Errol Flynn? Who's Errol Flynn? Well, y'all know. This my crowd. Y'all know Errol Flynn. Will Poulter. Oh, the Warlock guy. Okay. I don't like his face. You know what I mean? He doesn't have that clean cut, chiseled hero face. You know what I mean? He looked kind of, couldn't see that. Okay. Yeah, and we got the special effects now. It doesn't even have to be campy. It can actually be nicely done. So yeah, absolutely. Is that it for Q&A, gang? Are we done with Q&A? Y'all good? Y'all asked all the questions y'all wanted to ask? Rinko Kikuchi. That sounds sexual. She was born in 81. So 43. Wow. Okay. But she's an Asian woman and they stuff don't crack either. Maybe not. Maybe not. And not because she's in her not because she's in her 40s, just because, she don't look like she looked what she was doing 47 around. What about the guy who played Dracula on that TV show? You talking about the Netflix show? That was a creepy Dracula movie. That was wow. Yeah, crap ton of Dracula. John Rhys Meyers. John Rhys Meyers is the actor that you are thinking of. John Rhys Meyers. Oh yeah, he could do a Baron. Oh, he could definitely do a Baron. Hell, he looks like Baron in that picture. Oh yeah, he could do it. Yeah, he could totally be Baron. And he's fairly young. Well, when I say fairly young, I mean something different than what you mean when you say fairly young. Okie dokie. Wee wee. Well, y'all, it looked like y'all good. It looked like y'all good. It looked like y'all good with the situation. Well, look here, y'all. I'm about to wrap it up. Call it a night, at least tonight, and then I will be back tomorrow. Wow, two lives in a row now. I guess that's my schedule now. Thank you for allowing me to show up twice a week in your face live. I will try to be worthy of it. I will try to bring some talking points. Theo apparently is going to be bringing a guest. I'm ready for that. I'm with it. Get me starstruck. I like it. I'm with it. And I will certainly bring the questions. But look here, y'all. That's it for now. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. And be good to each